Hello everyone, welcome back to Critical Hit, the one-stop show for everything news, reviews and opinion-based videos on everything geek and gamer culture. I am your host Adam, and this one is quite the stirring thing, isn't it? Yeah, this is something that sort of trotted out quite recently. Apparently Taika Waititi is to make a new Star Wars film in the near future. This on top of the announcement of several 100,000 other films that are supposed to be coming out, I imagine. You know, how's Rian Johnson's new trilogy plodding along by the way? And yeah, so this came out to the fanfare of absolutely fuck all, because no one cares anymore. Least of all me, and I'm a fucking huge Star Wars mark, or at least I was. Star Wars is dead to me now. The prequels couldn't do it, but this sure as hell put it in the coffin. You know, the Disney sequel trilogy put it in the coffin for me. And so now they've announced a new Taika Waititi film, and no one cares. I'm sure there are people who care, but I know that a vast majority, that if this had been announced before everything that's going along. Taika Waititi, one of my favourite directors, I might add. I love What We Do in the Shadows. I love Boy, Hunt for the Wilder People. Freaking Thor Ragnarok, is one of the funniest funniest Marvel movies ever made, second only to the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And of course Jojo Rabbit was absolutely hilarious and bagged him a bunch of Oscars. It was really cool, and I'm very happy for his success. And he's a unique mind, and so I'd like to just pretty much point out why he's probably one of the worst people to choose. This is one of those cases, again, where I think that they are picking, because Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm have a habit of picking the wrong directors for the job, either because they have too much of a unique mind or they just won't fall in line, because of that, they pick directors who are not suited to the job at all, the directors on Solo. They of course were very ill-suited for what they wanted to do. They wanted to do a very meta, self-aware film, which is of course their sort of shtick, and it didn't mesh at all with and this doesn't, in my opinion. Taika Waititi does not mesh very well with Star Wars in terms of the story and its tone. Taika is very, very self-referential himself. He's very self-piss-taking. He's very light-hearted and comical and goofy and wacky, and it works very well in a film that doesn't take itself seriously, like Marvel and Thor Ragnarok, especially considering Thor needed a huge makeover in order to survive in the current climate of the Phase 3 movies. He gave him that new energy and brought him back into the mainstream of one of the main Avengers, and regardless of that, that's why I feel now Star Wars by converse is a very sort of almost serious tone. It's a goofy premise and a goofy sort of series of films for what it is, but it takes itself very seriously. The new trilogy itself, I felt, didn't take itself seriously enough. It was very Marvel-esque in terms of its humor and its goofiness, and Taika's above that in terms of his goofy, wacky humor, and I don't think that's very well suited towards a Star Wars movie, if I'm honest. He directed the very last episode of The Mandalorian, for example, and that out-of-place stormtrooper scene with Baby Yoda just stood out like a sore thumb. It did not feel like it belonged, especially in the last episode, considering in the last episode those two stormtroopers murdered one of the main characters, and we just literally went from, oh my god, this character's dead, to this wacky moment within this episode. And it was clashing, it was wrong, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it belonged in this gritty world that is Star Wars. So it felt very out of place. I mean, you think about it and how it was. It does stand out. A lot of people do look at it as I say, that's very tonal clashing. It doesn't quite work. And the point is, you should play to his strengths. Taika's good at wackiness, he's great at building great worlds, yes, but he is good at being goofy, he's good at fun, he's good at taking people on a fun, loving little adventure that doesn't take itself too seriously, that's over the top and great and spectacle and it's wonderful and it's lovely and everyone's jokey and it's great, and I feel like because of JoJo, he's just, in corporate eyes, he's just Mr. Flavor of the Month. They want to put a well-known director who has credentials to his name, and get people interested in Star Wars again, because of course the last trilogy completely flopped in the eyes of the fans and the general public. And people are still bitter about Rise of Skywalker. They don't want to trust anyone. And, you know, this is like someone with a lot of credentials to his name and a lot of, you know, positive track records. But again, I just don't think he fits. I don't think he fits. It's like trying to take a cylinder piece in one of those children's toys and stick it in the square block, you know, hole. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. He's not suited for something like Star Wars. He's not, and that's just the way he is. He is a thoroughly unique mind and has a unique style that cannot be emulated, nor can he emulate anyone else. It's why when James Gunn was thought to have left Guardians of the Galaxy, people were saying, oh yeah, Taika could do it. Taika could direct that film. And I was like, no, he can't, because James Gunn, like Taika, has a very unique style. They're a bit similar in certain ways. There's a certain goofiness that they go on, but they are not the same. People say, oh yeah, use pop music and humour and stuff. It's not the same. It still wouldn't have been the same. I'm very glad that James Gunn came back, because it would have felt like an imitation. It would have fallen flat if he'd have done Guardians 3. It just wouldn't have worked. In my opinion, I don't think Taika could have done Guardians 3 and make it feel like it belonged in the with the original 2. And, you know, that's because James Gunn has a unique mind and a unique way of dealing with things, and so does Taika, and that's their strength. They are very strong directors if you give them the right vehicles. And so, that is why I just don't think this is going to work. And I'm not interested, and I don't care, and that's no disrespect to the director whatsoever. I'm really looking forward to Thor: Love and Thunder, and I cannot wait for it. It's going to be a great time. But no, Star Wars, no, just stick to your fun-loving goofiness. Stick to keeping Thor relevant, you know? But that's just my opinion. If you think differently, you can let me know in the comments down below, and I would like to hear your opinion. Do you think Taika could possibly save the Star Wars franchise? Personally, I don't think so, but you might have a difference of opinion. And if you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can always hit that thumbs down button. That's what it's there for. I'm sure some of you do like to use it. And if you haven't already, why don't you hit the subscribe button as well to keep yourself updated on daily videos. It's only 1 click, 2 if you're feeling saucy and want to ring that little bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.